yes.
Yes.
And assure him that his speech was wonderful, etc. So she had to work.
You missed a great evening. It was wonderful. And so was that cookie.
Yeah, these are terrific.
I know, I found a really good brand. There's something that's... However, we'll just get on. You got tape in the camera? One coconut.
I'm the only one who doesn't get to eat, okay, guys?
Why don't you get to eat? Why don't you?
Because it'll make me sound like I have something in my mouth when I ask the question.
I'm not talking.
Guys.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll save the rest for later.
With the meal penalty.
Are we rolling?
Yes, we are.
You are not the product of an acting family, of a show business family.
No, I married into one. My wife is fourth generation actress, but my father was a chartered accountant, and his father was a linen draper. If you can, yes, a draper, a linen draper. Yes, draped people in linen.
Is acting considered by your family to be a scurrilous profession, or were they always very supportive?
They were. They, you know, I'm the youngest son, and if the youngest son appears to be successful, they love that. They're very, very supportive. God knows why, but they are.
You're also a product of the British public school system that has been described, that has been satirized in Lindsay Anderson's film If, and has been described as a place where licensed bullies and pederasts roam. I'm quoting from the ruling class. What was your experience of the public school system?
Not a lot of pederasts roaming. Very few licensed bullies, I seem to remember. It was beginning to be cleaned up by the time I got there. It was a time when I didn't learn very much. The particular school I was at didn't have very good masters. A lot of them had shell shock, I remember, from the Second World War, for some reason. I don't know why. So I didn't come out with quite as many qualifications as I should have done. I had a great time there. It was in the middle of the country. I learned to be a good chap, to fit in. And I learned a lot of things which I have since had to unlearn, like buttoning in my emotions and fitting in chameleon-like to society. So really for my chosen career, it was no help at all to me.
And when did you decide that acting was your chosen career?
Oh, I still haven't really decided that. But when they asked me, when they said I was going to leave, you know, and what was I going to do, which I thought was such a ludicrous question. I mean, how can you ask a 17-year-old, what are you going to do? I had no idea. And being sort of pretty simple-minded, I thought back to what I'd enjoyed doing for the last few years of my life, and I'd played rugby, ridden horses, and done one play. Horses I thought I was too tall to be a jockey of much use. Rugby I thought would be too grubby, a sort of generally hopeless way to spend a living. So I thought I'd try being an actor. And I had romantic ideas about being able to stand outside society and look at it and be a strolling player and not have to wear the same clothes as everybody else, and all those things which at 17, when you've been wearing a suit for the past 10 years at school, are immensely important. Mm-hmm. So I went into it gently like that, got accepted in theatre school and kept working, and my career kept building very, very satisfactorily, to my amazement.
Odd that you should mention wanting to be a strolling player. I understand that you actually did that to raise a few dollars here and there during
busker.
Yeah,
that's right. When I was immediately after I left school, I went and worked as a social worker. To expunge some of my class-ridden ideas, and I got paid no money at all. So I would play the cinema cues to earn what was in those days for me a fortune. I would get about £5 for a cue, and I had a living allowance of £2.10 a week. So in 40 minutes to get £5, it was like pennies from heaven. I mean, it was wonderful.
Something you can fall back on, perhaps.
That's right. That's right. It killed my voice. I don't know if you ever tried singing on sort of Fifth Avenue, you know, but it's traffic makes a lot of noise these days. So in Leicester Square, which is where I normally sang, it was, I don't think anybody heard me, lucky for them. They just saw me and understood that I was trying to sing.
I don't know if you're aware of it, but in a recent item in Parade magazine, a reader asked if such and such and such and such, and listed some very well-known British actors, asked if the tradition of acting in Britain was not homosexual. And the response that Parade magazine gave was that the tradition is bisexual, if anything.
Well, that's terribly interesting, yes. What is your question?
What's your reaction to not only the question, but also the answer that a Parade magazine, a magazine which is seen by 10 million people a week, what is your reaction to the answer?
Well, I think it's very interesting. I think probably that in every movie star of either sex there is an attraction to either sex within the audience. I think Valentino, for instance, was very attractive to women. I'm sure, I don't know, but I'm sure there was an element of his attraction also for men. I don't know. It's a very interesting idea. One way to argue that is to say perhaps people who work outside the structure of society are able to be more honest about their emotional, sexual proclivities. And we do indeed within us all have dual sides. We have the woman and the man within us. One sees in various sorts of men and or women very strong, I mean, if you think of the sort of, what do you call them here, rednecks, I mean, you'd say there was nothing feminine about that man. I wonder, there's something in that man that says, I must cover anything that has any softness about it.
So what you're suggesting is that because actors are outsiders, then perhaps also they are able to express both aspects of their personality, both male and female, both feminine and masculine, and so they are often perceived as pansexual, bisexual
I
beings.
suspect there's an element of truth in that. Though I don't know. I mean, if you look at any section of society now, I think people's honest sexuality is beginning to be confessed. There are honest proclivities.
Your films have generally appealed to a certain class of audience. You have not had a popular success. You've had great successes. You've had films that have made money, but not a great popular success. Generally speaking, I would say your films, Brideshead Revisited, have probably been appreciated more by members of the upper middle class and upper classes than any other section of American society. Do you yearn to reach out to the other classes? Would you like to for them to be able to appreciate? In a sense, you've almost been I can't think of the expression, but you've almost been taken up by the upper classes and the upper middle classes and held up as a treasure, as a.
Oh, well, that's nice. Obviously, anybody who makes anything, I mean, be it a painter, a writer, or whatever, wants as many people to watch, look at his paintings, to read his books. I don't think that means he's going to write any differently in order to get a wider audience. I've never believed in aiming towards a particular audience. I've always believed in following my instinct. If I see a script and like it, I want to do it, and I want to do it as best as I can. I don't, I'm afraid, ever think about any particular section of the community.
I didn't want to use the expression snob appeal, and as a result my question was terribly muddled, but there is a certain amount of snob appeal. Being able to say that I am a fan of Jeremy Irons' work is almost automatically saying, my tastes are upper middle
Oh, but
class or
that's
upper.
awful. That's just because I talk with an English accent, which in this country is regarded to be an upper class accent. It's not at all. It's just the way we have to talk in England, in southern England. I mean, you know, I'm a schmuck.
Can you do other accents? Can you do lower? Can you do Michael Caine? Can you do Cockney?
I could do a bit of that. Yeah, oh yes. Yes.
As we've already discussed, your Betrayal co-star Ben Kingsley recently won an Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance in Gandhi. Does an actor dream of a role like that?
Of a role like Gandhi?
Yes.
Oh yes. Or Lawrence of Arabia. Oh yes.
What kind of? Do you have a dream role? Is there a role?
Oh, do I?
Yes. Jack Nicholson insists that he wants to play Napoleon.
He'd be wonderful, and he should do, and he probably will. I mean, if you want to do anything enough, he'll do it. My dream role, the role I dream about, is the one I'm preparing at the moment, which fills all my thoughts, all my dreams. I have no role that's apart from that I dream about. No.
Can you tell us what it is?
Oh, it's a man called Charles Swann, who is a Frenchman, written by Marcel Proust.
So you are doing Remembrance of Things Past?
Yes.
Who's writing that script?
Jean-Claude Carrière wrote it. It's in French. I play a Frenchman. It's directed by Volker Schlöndorff, who made The Tin Drum. Pictured by Sven Nykvist.
This is a dream project. Say no more.
Yes, and we start shooting in 2 days, in 2 weeks. What am I doing sitting here talking to you? I should be in Paris. In fact, I will be in Paris tomorrow.
That's very exciting. So that is your next project.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with it. We have to wrap now. Thank you for being on the show. It's been a pleasure. That's wonderful. Of course, I had read something about that. I had read that you were doing that. I'd forgotten. Damn. Well, I'm glad we got it in. I'm glad I asked.
I want to know what Parade Magazine?
Parade Magazine, it was in 2 weeks ago. The question listed people like Gilgan and Olivia and said, isn't it true that all of these actors